Hello everybody, my name is Erin Walsh, Dyer, the bookkeeper's friend. Chances are you found this video because you're looking for some additional answers or maybe some knowledge in the new offering QuickBooks Online Advanced. Well, you've come to the right place. I have a passion for working in and teaching anything QuickBooks. Why? Well, lots of reasons, but mostly because the QuickBooks Online ecosystem allows a work-life balance that just wasn't available a few years ago. In my own firm, we encourage the work from anywhere lifestyle. So if you have small children, you can work from home. If you want to work part-time or remote, not a problem. Or if you're like me and like to travel a lot, you can work from the road almost anywhere. We also like to partner with other accounting firms no matter where they are in their journey. So if you're a larger firm and you need training for your team and your clients, we can help. Because I love the freedom of cloud accounting, I was really honored when Intuit asked me to write a series of webinars on their new offering QuickBooks Online Advanced. In this series, I cover how QuickBooks Online Advanced can accelerate data entry and help us better serve our mid-market, rapidly growing clients. I hope you enjoy them. If you ever have any questions or you want to learn more about our training series or you just want to talk shop, feel free to reach out to me in San Diego, Erin Walsh Dyer at the Bookkeeper's Friend. Enjoy your webinar.
Hello everyone and welcome to QuickBooks Online Advanced in Action. This is a deep dive of the newest offering of QuickBooks Online. It's called QuickBooks Online Advanced, not to be confused with Advanced Certification, which is a Pro Advisor designation. This is actually an app, a program that Intuit has written that is for the higher level client who is doing a lot of data entry, is growing rapidly, and Intuit is adding features in here to help us help them. So I'm very excited to be here with you all. So this is a website, first, little housekeeping, a website called qvtrainingevents.com. At that website, you can get access to free webinars like this. The in-person training has we've gone off the road for the summer, but beginning in September, there will be some free events in cities all across the country with trainers like myself and Stacy Kildall and Liz Scott, and I mean, just really good trainers out there, the same ones who do all these webinars. And we'll be in person with you. We have things like Grow Your Practice workshops, the QuickBooks Online Masterclass, which is for advanced certified pro advisors. And then I should also mention the virtual conference, which happens once a month. And you should just look for that because it's a 2 or 3 day conference where you can jump around from training to training without having to wait for a webinar to pop up. So it's like a 2-day immerse yourself in QuickBooks. Virtual conference is free and a lot of free CPE on all of these. Okay, so there's a blog you should follow, QuickBooks Online, and QuickBooks Online Advanced always has new features rolling out, and QuickBooks Online Advanced right now is in its infancy, and Intuit has a lot of stuff in the pipeline that's going to be added to what I'm going to demo to you today. But if you want to stay on the pulse of the changes coming out into QBO and QBO Online Advanced, follow that blog. Firmofthefuture.com is another great resource for learning things about building your firm and growing your practice and niche accounting and I don't know, fixed rate versus value pricing, all kinds of information there, free learning. And then Intuit's new marketing hub, which is resources for us, email campaigns, things like that to help us market our own firms. So take advantage of all this free stuff when you can. QVTrainingEvents.com on this slide as well, because some of you may have reached us in another manner, but if you want to see one of the other 2 webinars in this series, you can also go to that website and register. And again, these are all free. Last week, I did Serving High Value Clients, which was about changing out our firm and doing QBO Advanced as a niche. High value clients means more revenue for us, and using this offering, we're doing less work. And I'll demo a little bit about that now when we get in the deep dive. And then if you are interested, next week I'll be doing moving your client to QBO Advanced. So if they are a good fit, how do you get there? So this is our agenda. We're going to talk about how QuickBooks Online Advanced and deep diving it today elevates our firm, because this is going to make us look like rock stars, especially in the advisory side of this. We're also going to save a lot of time because we're not going to be cleaning up data with this new custom fields that they've added. And we'll talk about all of this. And then there might be, if we do have time at the end, we might look at our own clients to see if they are right for this. When you are watching this webinar, you should be thinking about your own client base. There may be somebody, one or two people already in your client list that might be a fit for just one of these features. So let's talk about how we can elevate our firm, and we're just going to go through. I'm going to get right into the deep dive. So we're going to, first of all, on this screenshot, I'm showing QBO Advanced, and and this is the test drive. You see Craig's Design and Landscaping. We've had the QuickBooks Online test drive for a long time. However, we have it with the advanced features now. And if you look on the top right, there's Priority Circle, and there's a few other things hidden in here. And I'm going to just go through a few slides to show you where these things are, and then we're going to go in there and deep dive it. So same features, same familiar platform. That's the nice thing. We don't have to worry about learning anything new, just more stuff. So let's get in there, and I'll just show you. One added feature is Priority Circle. I'll show you that in a moment. And this is a really great place where we can contact people at Intuit to help us with our firm. So let me just show you a little bit about Priority Circle. I'm actually in Craig's Landscaping now. And again, this is the test drive. I went ahead, guys, and in the chat area, I threw in there, and I think Wendy can throw it in there again, maybe, the link to this test drive. And so basically it's a test drive of QuickBooks Online, but we have all the Priority Circle and all the other features. So let's just show you what's in here. First of all, Priority Circle. Now this isn't a real customer success manager, it's John Doe. But when you have a client connected here, this particular person at Intuit is a designated representative that the client will know by first name, and they will know your client by first name. They also understand your client's business and what they're doing. They also understand who you are as their advisor. What's nice about this is they can quickly schedule an appointment with them or get them on the call or send that person directly an email if there's an issue. These particular people do not answer advisory questions. That's for us. That's our job. We're the pro advisor. They complement what we do, and they relieve us of a lot of tasks during our daily processes because they will answer the how-to questions. Or where do I find, really basic stuff. So they'll get that basic stuff out of the way, and anything that's beyond their scope, they will definitely say, hey, go reach out to Erin. That's something she's going to have to advise on. So it's like, I think I said it last week in the high value client class, it's almost like I got a free employee because I've had a few clients who have a lot of questions, and this CSM took a lot of it off my plate. So love that. Next thing that's included with the subscription, and again, this is all included, is priority technical support. This is front of the line access. So if you have a client with 5 branch offices and they're doing all kinds of work in QBO and they have a technical problem, they need somebody on the call right away. No waiting on hold, front of the line access. And these are only the tech support client team members that are the highest ranked by other QuickBooks users. So it's cream of the crop, front of the line, get that problem resolved quickly. By the way, if there is a support ticket, John Doe up here will manage that and follow up with the client and leave that off your plate as well. The last thing Priority Circle has that is amazing is free training. So if your client is growing and they're adding users, and this particular offering, you can add up to 25 users, and they have 5 branch offices with 4 people in QBO at each branch office, they need training, right? So this is included. If I click Explore Courses, this, once you put that code in, this website will open up, and there's Fred. I know Fred. And this is actually training by Real World Training, which is a company I used to work for teaching desktop. Free training included in Priority Circle. And look at what you get: Mastering Online Level 1, Advanced Features, Online Level 2, accounting basics, which is great. I would love to get my clients to understand basic accounting terminology and what everything means. So we're all talking the same language, learning a bit about payroll, and then they want to know about debits and credits. It says by course, but with advanced, you get a $2,000 credit. So I would have your client get their teams together and have everybody watch these courses in a group session, maybe in a event room where they can all watch it, and get trained simultaneously. Everybody's doing the same thing. That's what I love about Priority Circle. So it's supporting us. Now I don't have to train my client in the basics, all included with QBO Advanced. One question from Barry is, after using the credit, is there a cost? Yeah, you have to buy additional. So really plan out how you're going to use those trainings. But the $2,000 will get a view of each of these. And if Shanna has any more to comment on that, she can absolutely throw that in the Q&A for me. Okay, and then does the firm sign up for Priority Circle, or do I sign up my client? As soon as they are in QBO Advanced, and we'll talk about moving them to QBO Advanced next week on Wednesday, but once they're here, they have it. They click here and they will know their CSM right there. Good idea to introduce yourself because you're a user here in this client's file, and so is your client. So get you guys introduced, maybe schedule that appointment, everybody talk and say, okay, we're all going to work together. And the basic questions are gone. I'm not kidding you. I am saving probably 4 or 5 hours a week on one client just from that. I do not have to answer that anymore. Is Priority Circle available in other versions? No, it is only available in Advanced. And like I said, but the QBO Advanced price point is higher, definitely. But if I put it on my wholesale bill, I'm paying $105 a month for that as long as the pricing remains the same. So we get a discount that stays perpetual. For me, just saving those 4 hours a week on that one feature, it's paying for itself. I buy this over and over and over again for my clients who are high maintenance. So, okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one, and hopefully you guys can see the value in that. Put this on your wholesale bill, have that flat rate billing or value pricing with them, and you're getting, like I said, a free employee. I feel like my CSM is, at least my client's CSM, not mine, my client's. Also, to answer that one question, and I heard this before, people asking, when we are logged in on QuickBooks Online Accountant and we're in your books, it would be awesome because that's a QBO Plus subscription. It would be really awesome if that was advanced. I'm not saying it's coming, but I kind of feel like it is. So it's a personal opinion. Okay, our next thing we're going to talk about is custom fields. So custom fields is really powerful. In the existing QuickBooks up to Plus, you can add up to 3 custom fields on a sales form. So estimate, invoice, period. This is only available in QBO Advanced. At this point, you can have up to 10 custom fields. And I went in the test drive this morning and added some crazy custom fields here. What did I add? Well, I added sales rep. And it's based on a drop-down list. Let me edit that for you and show you what it is. I set it up as sales rep, and I've set up specific sales reps here. I can add a line. Oh, I already have that sales rep. There we go, new sales rep. Include inactive, show it on a sales form, and sure, I'll take it on the sales form, but do I want the customer to see it on the printed invoice or estimate? No. Now this is also, and this is different, this particular custom field is also populating in the customer setup. So now I can assign a sales rep to a customer. When I do an invoice with that customer's name, it auto-populates their sales rep. You can also toggle that out and change it on the invoice, but there you go. This is different because with the existing QBO, it was just a text field, and people tend to type in whatever they want, right? So I had that same client that is a lot of emails. They also wanted to track sales by rep. And in QBO Plus, it's a text field, and I would tell the sales rep, I don't know how many times, type your name, use your initials, or use this or use that. and they just didn't do it. And when I'd go to run a report, there'd be all these different names, and we have to clean it up in order to get a clean sales by rep report. Well, with this one, not a problem. We've got renewal dates here. We've got sales manager as a drop-down list, a delivery date. And let me just show you when I hit add field what it looks like. So with the customer one, this will show up in the customer center as an option in the customer edit where I can designate something. It also can show up on sales forms. So let's just try a new one. I think I did this one already, referred by, but maybe not. Let's try it. Referred by. Okay. Do I want to use that on the sales form? Probably not. This is just keeping information in the customer level. And then here are my options. A text is a straight text box, which means I can't really, they can type in whatever they like. Very similar to what's there in QBO now. A number, maybe I have a specific number for this one. A date, this is great. It gives me a date box so I know they're going to type in or pull the right date-driven number in there. And then, of course, the custom drop-down list. I'm not going to do that because in this instance, it's referred by. It could be, just somebody's name. So I'm going to leave that as text. And there we go. So I've added another one, referred by. So let's take a look at where I can see that in the customer center in just a moment. Before I do that, I want to show you this one. The second option is to add this custom field to sales and purchase forms. So it's not going to be at the customer level or the vendor level in their setup, but it is going to be on those sales forms. So maybe it's something like this one where I chose it in the background, project number. Maybe there's a project that we want to track on both the expenses and the income side, and we're tracking that as a separate report. Okay, so that's how you set those up. And again, I got there by going to the gear, and it's a new option with QBO Advanced underneath the list. Okay, I've got 8 of 10 used. Let's go look at a customer. In here, I'm going to go to Amy, Amy's Bird Sanctuary, and let's go ahead and edit Amy. We have another tab available to us now, and here's her renewal date, which I can run a report showing, when her contract is up. I could designate the sales manager for this particular sales rep because maybe that's another series of reports here. The accounts receivable contact, maybe it's somebody at the office, at their office, at Amy's place, where we want to talk about accounts receivable, but there might be another designation of who we should contact for the project. So you could set up another custom field by that, and referred by best aims. So you can see now I have all this wonderful stuff. I can also add a custom field on the fly from here, and I can also manage custom fields from here. It'll jump me over. So I've set some things up, and if I do a new invoice for Amy, put in her name, it should pre-populate these two. Delivery date, that may be specific to the invoice, but you can see it is a date field, not a text field. The AR contact is there. The project contact must not have been set up at the customer level, just on the invoicing or the sales form level, right? Because the project contact may change depending on job site. So type that in, and if there's a project number, put that in as well. Okay, let's just add this billable time. How's that? Save that. All right, pretty cool. Custom fields there, and again, we can have up to 10. Let's go look at some reports. Actually, I've opened one. What I did is I did a sales by customer detail. But when you customize this, I have now new options under change columns where I can add the sales rep. Oh, wait a minute. I have to go back and put this back to by customer. Okay, let me run it again. So one last thing. So go to customize, and now I can add things like sales rep and other things, and I could also filter by those as well. Project contact, maybe the project number I want to filter by, and you can see because it's a number field, I can do greater than, less than, equals to. So I could do equals 2004, run that report. It should filter down to the one invoice. And then I can also filter this by sales rep, run that report. So instead of by customer, I'm seeing the individual sales. You can see how I could probably filter the date, change the title, maybe filter it by sales rep, which I've actually done here. This is a specific sales rep. I'll run that report. And we did all dates, but you can see how you could do last month or last week. And we talk about in the certification class how you can set recurring reports to email out. So if these were sales reports, you could just send those out automatically to the sales reps prior to running their checks or payroll. And this is automation. We don't have to clean up these fields with the names. Everything is already set for us because we have custom drop downs. So hopefully you'll get some ideas from that. You know, delivery date, birthdays. Let me go to the sales center. You can also filter the customer list. You can go to the grid gear and add renewal date, sales rep. So in this area, we can be looking specifically at AR contact and filter it there, or who's the sales rep that's assigned. And we might have to go through and start adding these sales reps to all these people. But this is at the customer level, the list level, what has been assigned. So kind of cool. Up to 10, instead of just 3 on a sales form, we're now seeing a lot more options here. So the other question is, can QBO Advanced allow for calculating commissions for sales reps? No, it will do the total sales, but that might be something that you could build in Fathom reporting, which we're going to get to that in just a little bit. Fathom reporting allows you to build formulas that are based on QuickBooks numbers. So absolutely a possibility. So, and again, we got to experiment with that, but Fathom has some really great training in there. And we'll get to that in a minute. The next new offering, or the next new thing that we need to look at in QBO Advanced is manage users. So this is kind of a pain point for our clients, and this is a test drive, so I'm not sure if I can add a user, but I'm going to try. But here's the big difference. If you have a growing company who has 5 branch offices with 4 employees who need get into QuickBooks to enter bills, read reports, convert estimates to invoices, whatever it is, they're growing, they're getting mid-market big company, they're growing. So they need these users. So luckily we have free training, but we can have up to 25 users at no extra fee. So again, I told you it's 105 for us on our wholesale bill. Wow, up to 20 people helping, that would be great. The new stuff that's in here, and Intuit is building more out, there's more in the pipeline, but there are options of custom users, standard user, company admin. Also, there's reports only or time tracking only, which is also available in QBO Plus. Now we're going to go to the custom user, and I'll just show you what's new here. The first one that's really obvious is bank deposits. So what this means is now somebody who's in this accounting system who is entering sales and receiving payments, prior to that, they if they just have sales access, cannot make the deposit. Well, now they can. So, and also what this does is it filters what they see on the banking level, right? So it could get them into the bank feeds, but it's going to filter information. The view is very limited, but now they can do that final step in the AR workflow, receive payment, and then make deposits where they can combine multiple payments into a single deposit in the checking register without seeing how much Joe got paid last week for payroll. So that's a great add. Again, there's more in the pipeline here. As far as sales go, they can do all sales transactions. So I'm going to let them do everything, or maybe I want to limit that. So let's say you do have sales reps who are getting into QBO, but we only want them doing estimates, period, which means I probably wouldn't let them do bank deposits either. But you can see how we could filter that out, and then maybe the invoice is done by somebody else in the pipeline. Maybe there's an approval system before an estimate gets converted to an invoice. So that is a new filter, not available in Plus or any other. I'm going to still say this person is going to do all sales and post bank deposits. Do we want that person seeing all expense transactions? No, this is a salesperson. And then on sales reports, on reports, if they're gonna get in the report center, do we want to see them everything? Or maybe we'll just filter that down so the report center is only showing sales. So these are really great new ads. Again, more in the pipeline. There's a lot of people giving feedback on this, and Intuit's listening. So lots more to come. It's not nearly as robust as the user permissions in Enterprise, but it's getting there. I mean, they're going to add things as people are requesting them. Do we want them to edit the company info or manage any subscriptions? Probably not. And then you just fill in their name and email them, and they accept the invitation, and in they are. And then again, we can add up to 25 users with those permissions included with the fee. Now, the other cool thing is accounting firms. You can add up to 3 accounting firms, which the other QBOs are just 2. Well, depending. It's just Essentials and Plus have 2 accounting firms. So why the third? Well, maybe one's the tax prep, one's a bookkeeper, and the other one is a consultant. So you can have all 3 firms in there working, and again, under the firm, you can have as many users as you like. So we're getting a big team of people in here working. So that is the managed users. Let's go out of there. I'll go back to the dashboard, and let's see what we got next in the pipeline for you guys. Now we're going to talk about accelerated invoicing. And what we mean by that is if you're a fast-growing company and you have lots of data that you need to get into QuickBooks on the sales side, and we're talking about invoices specifically at this point, you have 2 options of getting that data in there. Let's start with one, which means in this case, we have an outside POS system or sales system that it's not an app that connects to QuickBooks, and we need to get the data, the sales data from that particular offering into QBO as fast as possible. So originally, let's just go to an invoice. Let's say we have 200 invoices to enter today, and that's how much volume they're doing every day. Entering an invoice one at a time and filling it out is going to take a long, long time. Save and new, save and new, save and new. This is what we're trying to eliminate. What we're going to do is, let's say that other system does have a way to get invoice information over to Excel or CSV. So let's just say we print a report, we're able to convert it to, or issued a report able to convert it to CSV. So what we're going to do is go to the gear import data, which has been in QBO for a long time. However, if you're using Advanced, there's another tile here that says import invoices. Okay, I'm going to click here, and this screen has a nice guide for us. I'm going to click on it really quick and just show it to you all. Actually, I might have it. No, I don't think I have it open. Let me just open it up for you. So it's just talking about how to format that CSV file so it will work with QBO. And what's basically happening is each column here is mapping somewhere. Customer here, and this is a nice graphic on what Intuit needs on your CSV to bring this all in. Okay? Now, these are just some of the basics. These are the ones that might be required. The ones with asterisks are required. And then maybe there's other ways to get some of that custom field data in here as well. So that's the guide. There's also a sample CSV, and I think I have it open down here. No, maybe I don't. Okay, downloading it. I thought I had it. Where'd it go? Sample CSV. There it goes. Okay, all right. Opening that, and it's just a guided spreadsheet where you can go ahead and fill it in with the data from the other system. So, if any of you ever use like Transaction Pro Importer or any of those other apps, very, very similar. And I want to point out how this kind of works. So you get the data out of your other system, and you need to get it formatted to work here. So Chris Smith's invoice number 1001, and this is a sample. Obviously, I want to clean this out and put in the real data. Customer, invoice date, due date, those are all required fields. Terms you can add. But because we're sold them trimming, but we also sold them design, an extra trimming, and some gardening. There are 4 items or products on this invoice. And how the system works is if you put the same invoice number here, the import tool understands that Chris has 4 rows on a single invoice instead of 4 invoices. So you can see if you can get the data from another system and get it just pasted in here weekly, daily, depends on the volume, you can get up to 1,000 rows per import. So pretty cool. And that is going to be a huge help instead of hitting save and new, right? a billion times. So then you just browse to it and you can add new customers if there are new customers on that report. So it will add it to the customer center. So that is how you can import that. I don't have any data to import. And by the way, in the test drive, you can't use that tool, but the test drive is a great place to go and experiment with custom fields and build reports based on custom fields before you experiment in your client's file. But so that is one option for invoicing. Okay, let's just say this client doesn't necessarily have an outside system spitting out invoice reports for them or sales reports. Maybe they just want to work straight from QuickBooks Online. So here's the second option for invoicing. In the Quick Create, under Customers, it says multiple invoices. All right, another option. So you got to think about your client and how they're going to best use this. So you can see it kind of has a spreadsheet feel to it, doesn't it? We pull the customer, fills in some of the information that's required, and then we can go to this drop down and pull from this product service list. Okay, installation of landscaping. Actually, I'm going to switch that. Let's do something that multiple clients might want. Let's say it's gardening. Weekly gardening service, and this is for the month. I'll say 4 weeks. Everybody, let's say $60 per visit, and that's $240. Now, I could add another row by hitting this plus sign here, but I'm not going to at this point. You could also go to these 3 dots on the left and add another line item. So I could have multiple rows here. But what I really want to do is go to the 3 dots, and we do this for 20 clients. We go out and mow their lawn all week long, and we want this invoice to go out to everybody. So let's duplicate this invoice for multiple customers. And here we're going to pull the customer list and just start marking these. Really great offering. It would be kind of cool if we could pull customer type. That's a newer feature in QBO, but not bad. So let's say we do have 20 customers. I'm going to click next, and instantly, instead of save and new, we are creating these particular invoices very rapidly. So you can see how much time that's going to save. I also want to point out that maybe when we went to Diego's site, a tree fell over. There was a storm. So what I'm going to do is, you know what, Diego, we got to add something here. And I'm going to, whoops, I'm adding 2 things apparently. We're going to do a hours. So we worked remove tree. So I can customize this, and we worked 5 hours on that at $75 an hour. Okay, taxable, etc. Okay, I'll remove this row. So customize it if you need to. I've had people say that this is an awesome thing for, let's say it's the daycare center and weekly invoices or monthly invoices go out, and they can just enter them all in one batch. And this is kind of a batch action in QuickBooks Online. Now, the Online Advanced, I should say. I need to also say that Little Birdie told me that this is where QuickBooks Online Advanced is going. It's all about batching things in and, you know, entering lots of data as quickly as possible. So then we can get to the reports and see how we're doing. So that is multiple invoices. Some people are calling it batch invoicing because it does kind of look like a batch invoice. I'll just hit save. And, oh, I'm in the test drive. It may not have saved. The test drive's a little quirky, but that's how it works. Okay. All right, so again, we had 2 things there. One of them was under import data in your gear, which is the import invoices tool from CSV. The other one is in Quick Create because it's now a built-in feature, multiple invoices. Okay, that is what we're calling accelerated invoicing. So if you hear that term, that means both of those offerings. All right, so I showed you that, Okay, now we're going to talk about smart reporting, which is personally one of my favorites. So we got to think again about the client who has lots of data, lots of users, a lot of activity, lots of volume. We have our priority circle people helping us manage all of this information. And then it's up to us to be the advisor. So I have a sample company that I use in QBO Advanced here. This is my own little guy that I use. I have connected this to this final offering that is in Advanced right now that I think is so powerful, because if we're lifting ourselves up to the advisory level, this particular part is going to make us look awesome with hardly any work. So in the Report Center, they've added Smart Reporting by Fathom. So it's part of the, if it's on the wholesale bill, $105 a month, client would pay full price. I think it's $150 right now, but there are some discounts out there if they're starting up. Oh, I should also mention on that pricing point, for those of you who might have not-for-profit companies, qualified not-for-profits can get QuickBooks Online Advanced for $150 a year on TechSoup.org, TechSoup.org. Let me just put it up. You have to qualify. Whoops, .org. My bad. There we go. That is a nonprofit for nonprofits. So they buy equipment and other things on behalf of nonprofits, and they negotiate deals. So there you go. You get $150 a year. All right. So now we are in the Report Center, and we can quickly click this and open Fathom. So Fathom is going to pull data from QuickBooks Online. This first screen is on the analysis page. So that's where we are. Let me go back. Let me relaunch it. I must have gotten logged out. Let's go to my Fathom. You are instantly logged in, by the way. If you're logged into QBO Advanced, it will open Fathom for you. Okay, so on that analysis tab, and I'm going to switch this out because this company just has data through last year. So I'm switching out the period I'm looking at. We can set targets and actually set warnings. So again, let's think of yourselves on the advisory level. We set it that the target was 25% for operating profit margin, and they're running below that. And it's a high importance issue for us. So on the advisory level, this is amazing because we can actually be watching and monitoring this. If you are a pro advisor, you can have multiple clients accessible from your login to Fathom, and you get a dashboard that shows all the alerts for all your clients on one screen. So again, first thing in the morning, you log in, you look at Fathom, and you're seeing, oh, Joe is going, his accounts receivable is overdue by 40 days. You know, it would have been marked in an X for Joe. So we can watch it on a platform and then be advising our clients that there's an issue. We're getting information from this. So some of you might be saying, what's a KPI? So a KPI is a key performance indicator. Some of these are financial and some of them are not. So profitability and that kind of stuff is financial, but you can also do things like units sold and other things like that, and do markers on that or targets and go over these with your client. So this is kind of an overview page. I'll just show you in settings where you can actually get in here and set those targets. In here we can make, and by the way, Fathom has really great training, and every time you go somewhere they pop up a video on how to do this. But you can set these targets by same targets each month. So you just, let me go ahead and do that and hit OK. And we'll just say every month we want it to be this. Now these targets for profitability were brought in from QuickBooks Online budget. Now, if you don't want to use the budget, uncheck that and put in your own target here, but you can absolutely do that. You can also do custom KPIs in here on non-financial things, like things that have to do with marketing and other stuff. I do want to show, here's where we can set alerts. Again, we're on the advisory side here, so I want to know if total cash flow is less than 0. Well, that's probably a good thing to know. It's going to give me an alert when this happens. So we're talking beyond financials, looking at financial statements. This is advisory. On the chart of accounts settings, you can also do something else, because QuickBooks Online has its set structure of a chart of accounts. If it's an income account, it goes here. If it's cost of sales, it goes here. But maybe I want to realign this and change some of the headers and things like that. Maybe I want this to be reclassified to a different category on my report, or set it as a fixed or a variable expense. And that way, when I go to some of these reports that I'll show you in a second, I'm controlling that a little bit more. I'll just save that change, and let's go into the reports themselves. So back to analysis. Now that we know the KPIs and we can set all this stuff, and I'm going to go to last year again here, we can also change this from all KPIs. How about we just want to see the ones that are on track, the ones that are off track, so we can talk to our client. And maybe we want to switch this out to last year or by target. So we have some options here. Now, this particular information can also be seen here on the KPI Explorer. Some of our clients have a hard time understanding rows and columns. So this is just another look at this particular result. And we're doing last year. Do we want all KPIs or those ones that are on track, so we can congratulate them and then talk to them about the ones that are off track? And right now it's grouped by perspective, but maybe I want it grouped by result. So the bad ones are over there and the good ones are over there, or maybe by importance, because we've marked in our targets, in our settings, what's important and what is not. Okay, so they have a few things to deal with. Again, making us as advisors, giving the client a way of looking at their information in a different way other than a profit and loss statement or some other report. Okay, profitability. This is all built in, comes with Fathom, you get this. So we're looking at last year. And what this is giving us is kind of a trend of when this client went profitable. They went profitable when they hit $1.8 million. Then it's just showing the trend as it's calculated by QuickBooks data. This is where they ended the year at 3.7, and they're operating profit at that point. But you can also kind of say, well, you know what? If you've gotten up to 4.2, you would have done this, and it's just kind of giving an idea of where their break-even point, and it's just another way of talking to them about, hey, maybe we need to work on variable costs or fixed costs a little bit, which are way down here. And by the way, we need to get all those settings in there to make sure this report is looking right. Cash flow. This is not a cash flow projector. This is actually a statement of cash flows. But again, you run a statement of cash flows in QuickBooks, and your client's looking at it going, what are you talking about? Some people love bar charts and graphics. It's just easier. It's just showing how much money came in and how it was spent, right? Now, that's their net. And then it's going to show what happened on the balance sheet that affected that as well. And then we're seeing, why they only have that much cash left. So a graphic, easy for them to look at and understand. And this is great for those advisory meetings. I haven't done a thing. I just pulled in the QuickBooks data and connected this app once, and this keeps updating. Here's another one that you might want to play with. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's one of those 4 quadrants where you can, here it says efficiency gains, growth, decline, and stress. What we're looking at now is so the smallest little bubble is the oldest year. And this is the newest year. And again, we have this set to year. So right now we're looking at EBT, which this is earnings before interest and tax. So they call it EBT. Maybe we want to switch this out as EBT versus revenue since 2014. And it does this nice little ping pong thing where you and your client can look at how earnings before tax went over the years. Again, we are not looking at graphics. Maybe we want to switch it out. And we're not looking at lists. We're looking at reports that are a little more engaging, right? I think they're awesome. Okay, more. There's a lot in the analysis side. We can switch this from revenue to your targets or add targets and rolling average to this. We can look at predefined reports that are in here. Maybe we want to look at profit, net, and then add other ones like cash flow. You see how we're adding information to the existing. Kind of nice. Income. Really quick, really easy, and you can go through these numbers with the client. This one's one of my favorites. It's called Goal Seek. So let's say we want, let's just leave it at profitability ratio. We have a target to get that to 10%. 20%. Well, we'll leave it at 22. Let's just leave it there, but we have options. And so what this is doing is bringing in things that we can do to achieve that goal. So the price to achieve the goal, we'd have to go 2.6%, but we're not going to go past, let's just say we want to do 2%. Kind of hard to toggle it, but let's say it's 2. Wow, we're almost there already. So all we got to do is reduce maybe fixed expenses a little bit. And this is something you and your client can go through and set goals on some of this, variable expenses, until you reach that target. And then, of course, you can, or that goal, I should say. This is a great way to plan, because then you can say, okay, next year in 2020, this is our goal. Let's set up a new budget based on this goal, and then we can run the profit and loss and see where we are at and see if we're meeting that target or that goal. So really great interactive tools. Again, we're more on the advisory level, and these tools make it so easy for us. I'm going to go down to financials. This automatically pushes a budget compared to actual. This company does not have a budget, but if they did, you can see I could switch the year and the frequency, and it could be a summary or a detail. Choose level of detail. Instant reports where we can look and see how they're doing based on that budget. Okay, so that's our analysis area. There is a way to also create custom reports and report packages. So I'll just show you where it is. It's pretty simple. You just go in and go to custom report, and I actually set one up, but let's just create a template where we can do using data from last year on a portrait level. We don't want it landscape, and create the template. So it comes with a header and some structure you can put in there, 2018 financials. And obviously you can add as many reports as you like, but what's really great is you can click add chart, table, or layout. And let's say we're going to do financials, profit and loss. There it is. Another report. If I hover over here, I can put it above or below. So we always probably want to see the balance sheet above. And there that goes. And we're comparing in this one, we could edit it, but I'm quickly building data, obviously, or this report package from those canned reports. But we could have custom reports in there that we've saved that we can add to this report package. Now, I did have a client who was using Fathom. He had 4 sister companies, and we were doing consolidated financials. I didn't mention Fathom can do that. So he has 4 sister LLCs in QuickBooks Online Plus, and we were consolidating financials and benchmarking those companies. They all do the same thing, and he wanted to see who was doing better than the other and why. So another reason I moved him to Advanced, because he was paying individually for Fathom, he was paying for QBO Plus, and with the price point and the assistant with Priority Circle, it was so worth it to him to go to Advanced. Just a no-brainer. So that is the end of the demo itself. Again, think about your client list. Who is going to those usage limits? Do they need classes that they might have to go to Advanced? Here's a resource for you all. It is a checklist to see if your client is scaling and maybe they are a fit for Advanced. So go through this checklist. It's on your PDF. Make sure you download it. Think about other services you might add using this platform. And again, next week we're going to actually move a client to QBO Advanced from Enterprise. I'll show you how to do that. All right, so thank you all very much, and I'll see you at the next session. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Bookkeeper's Friend in San Diego. Thanks.
Thanks for watching today. There is so much opportunity with this powerful new version of QuickBooks. We have just scratched the surface of QuickBooks Online Advanced. Feel free to reach out to me, Erin, at bookkeepersfriend.com. I would love to hear from you. You can also join the conversation. Join our QuickBooks Online Advanced Slack channel to give your feedback and ideas. Look for more from me on this channel.